Cheers, bastards. This is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to talk about something that I almost hear no prepper talk about, and that's papers to get out of the country. We all know the videos about bug out bags, and when they are mentioned bug out bags, we are mostly talking about information like your identifications, a picture of your home deeds, insurances, bank loans, bank accounts, data, and all those things. So yeah, but there is one thing that you do not hear mention talk about. Even I made this mistake because I just recently uh, got a whiff of it, and that is for imagine if you're going to have to bug out, perhaps even bug out as a refugee out of the country into a new country. Well, yeah, we all know how things went during the refugee crisis in during the Syrian civil war, and the time with ISIS in Iraq, and yeah, those things and still going on. Yeah, we all know how difficult it could be for those refugees. So yeah, I would say get your papers in order to just in case you do not have to travel. This will perhaps not be applied to American viewers, but for European viewers, it could be very essential to have the right papers. So yeah, today I for the first time I got my travel passport, and with this there are a lot of countries I can go in more easily. Perhaps there will be restrictions during times of unrest, certain scenarios, or perhaps even in times of war or other conflicts. But it's better to be a refugee and have all your documents in order than to be one without, because otherwise you have much more risk to be held longer in some detention camp or some immigration process. Yeah, that could take a long time if you do not have the correct papers. So that said, I would advise to, if you going to make a refugee bag, like I said in one of my videos, the video about the non-comeback refugee, the refugee bag, I would say put a travel passport in, together with, first of all, do not forget to take your identification cards. And if you're going to, perhaps if you're scared to lose it, I would advise to take a copy of it and try to, if you perhaps can see if I get it right, to take your documents and put them inside of a waterproof and shockproof case in a ship, and take a picture of it so that you always have the information, even when your paper gets stolen, get wet, get teared. uh, then you always have some photos of it on a ship, and that will make some processes around the border, doing immigration processes much more easier, quicker, so you can get quicker to your destination. Yeah, like I said, travel passports, identification cards. Uh, if you're going to go into another country, perhaps you will need some evidence of vaccination, especially like in these times with the corona pandemic. I would advise to get your how do you say this, your vaccination card, and yeah, that way you have proof in your hands, that they not only, because sometimes people at the border guards will have not the right equipment to look information up that is perhaps not available anymore because of some scenario or crisis. So always have your vaccination cards ready for, with all of your vaccinations, like your medical records, so that they cannot use that to say you cannot enter here because you don't have that vaccination. You have to go back. Your bank accounts, I would say, if you are going abroad or a big out situation, perhaps you can even need to use your what's the English word? Ziekenbond, uh, your medical insurance. So try to put one of these stickers with the information on it. So if something happened to you abroad, that it perhaps still can be paid by the insurance instead of that you pay it out of your pocket. I would also, those are the things that I that you can take with you. Perhaps you can try to already ask for a visum in certain countries. If you plan a bug out inside of another country, I would advise to already ask for a visum for it. That you already have a visum. So if you have to go and you need a visum to travel to that specific country, then yeah, you can renew it after every 6 months. And yeah, that's perhaps a hassle every half of a year, but at least you have your visum, and you can directly go into another country, and they can not hold you back because of it. Perhaps because of some uh, big big how do you say this, state of emergencies rules that they suddenly implied. But it's better than having nothing, is what I'm trying to say. So try to have all these things in order. I would also advise to put onto your chip if you're going to another country to bug out, emigrate, or something else as a refugee. Also have proof of your credentials, like what kind of work you did, like your how do you say this? Your papers that tells what kind of jobs you did in the past, your your diplomas, yeah, diplomas, uh, all your how do you say this, proof of doing certain things, that you followed some courses like first aid and other things that could be handy to be useful refugee instead of yeah, because we all have to be fair. If a country will let people in, they want people who are more useful and can contribute to society, and you have then less chance to be put in a detention camp or be turned away. Even if you have these credentials, you can still look for work, even if it's not official work, but you still have the credential to prove that I can do this job. And yeah, that can be much more handier. I would also advise, if you're going to bring your papers in order, also bring some papers in order can be that you can get while the getting is good. I'm talking about things like permits, like fishing permits, hunting permits, gun license, those things, because when shit hit the fan, or there is a certain scenario, or a scenario like a war, it will be more difficult to ask for these permits. But if you already have them, that way you can still use them while it's legal, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the government can say at every any time, like, no, you cannot hunt anymore, or you cannot fish anymore, because there is a people are starting to do it too much. But as long as you have these permits, then you can hold it out a little longer on a legal in a legal way. To say, you can always say, I still have a permit. I do not know. I did not know this, and you will not get much more punishment for that, because you have your papers. You are more you're legally busy, to say. Yeah, this was just a short rant about having the right papers to get them now while the getting is good, and while you can obtain them right now. Because if there is a situation where you need to bug out and you have to get through the bureaucracy that will be in chaos, uh, waiting lines that will be very, very long. Yeah, you want to have those things ready before those chaotic scenarios will start up. All right, so subscribe. I would really appreciate. Share this video. Leave a comment if I forget something about papers that you need to bring in order to get somewhere, or for a survival situation, or whatever. I'm always eager to learn. Leave a like, subscribe, all those good things, and thank you. See you in the next video, and cheers.